Yo, what is up, gamers, anime lovers? It's your host, Caleb. And if you're having trouble, picking units out of all these ones I'm showing on screen, don't worry, I got you. So, I do kind of know what I'm talking about, as you see right there. We got Bright in the friends list. Now, if you don't know who Bright is, that is the #1 player currently in the world. So we got him on the friends list. He knows who we are. We're in that inside group. So you can see in the top left, I've been top 27 in the world. So I'm pretty good at this game. I decently know what I'm talking about. So we're going to go over basically kind of like the best team or the top 5 units, however one you want to look at that, because a team is 5 units. So this is not necessarily like these are the best 5 units, because those would all be attackers, because the attackers are like the best units. But this is the best team. So, in my opinion, it's the top 5. So first off, my guy. This guy is ridiculous, and he's a wonderful tank because he's also kind of a DPS. This guy out damages my DPS half the time. It's really good. So his skill 1 is deals 181% physical damage, P damage, to a single unit, and then gains 7% increased attack bonus based on HP up to 4 times. Pretty self-explanatory, not much there. His next one's a little bit more convoluted. Before the skill is activated, and grants increased attack by 4% of max HP up to 4 times for 2 rounds that can't be dispelled by buff removal. Then deals 44% physical damage to the front row and inflicts burn. And burn is 15% of his attack is dealt as pure damage to them at the end of the round. That's HP plus 30%, defense by 10%, and damage reduction 5%. All defenders have the same thing. For his ultimate, I guess, revives at 30% HP when killed and increases damage reduction by 10%. At the beginning, gives everyone Guardian Heart, which increases their HP by 50% of his max HP. So making everyone tankier, and he revives. Good. Voice lines right there. But yeah, solid tank. Pretty good. Also, if you're worrying about team format, I'm going for the Chaos formation. It's where you have one from each type. You get plus 25% HP, plus 25% attack, and there might be more, but there's a glitch currently going on in the game where it's not all on one screen. You can't read it, but I'm assuming it's plus 25% HP and attack. That's all we know for right now. They're eventually going to fix that in a patch, I assume, very soon. Next up, Sakura. So we're going to start off probably with her ult, because, it kind of shapes her whole kit, because it's a passive. It's not really an ult. So it increases her control resistance, well, everyone's control resistance by 5%. We're using her first skill, and also her first skill adds a 20% shield of her attack when she uses her first skill. When her first skill is restores HP equal to 78% of her attack to 3 allies with the lowest HP. If their HP is less than 10%, then gains 10% increased healing. So she does more healing if they're under 50%. But also, she's going to get 20% of her attack, also as bonus shield, because of that extra passive. Her second skill, all allies gain HP equal to 99% of her attack and 60% of their attack if they have the lower HP. So everyone gets 99%, and the 2 people with the lowest HP get a bonus 60% for 2 extra rounds. Cool. I mean, yeah, neat. Next up, the busted boy, Minato. Yeah, this unit is single-handedly the most broken unit I think I've ever seen in a game. So we're just gonna get straight into this guy because there's so much to cover here. This is gonna be a little bit of a longer one. No one currently has him. That's what I'm showing right there. No one has him yet, so I don't think you actually can get him as of right now. But it's whatever. So, first attack. Attacks a random back row enemy a total of 5 times. So, he's just going to do 5 random attacks, dealing 55% physical damage each time. And every time a unit's hit for that, 5 times, it increases the damage they take by 3%. So, if you attack the same unit first time, 3% damage increase. You attack him again, the 6% damage increase. And if he's faster than them, which he has high speed, he's Naruto, then it'll just hit. They can't dodge it with a dodge boost. His second attack deals 375% physical damage to the enemy with the lowest HP and reduces their attack by 2 rounds, by 10% for 2 rounds, and increases his critical hit damage by 15%. And if he's faster, it has to hit and it dispels all of his buffs. That pretty basic. Attack plus 40%, HP plus 20%, and crits plus 15%. I'll go through this real fast because very long ultimate. Gives everyone plus 20% attack. Every time an enemy moves, it gives them a red yang, which makes them take 30% damage equal to damage equal to 30% of his total attack. Can't be dispelled. Very overpowered because every time they make a move. The highest attacker on your team gets Flying Raijin, which makes like the damage spread out between your whole team. So if they get hit for 100, everyone on your team is getting hit for 20 instead of that one guy hitting for 100. Great because Sakura can heal all of that back up. And killing a unit while this guy's on your team will gain 20% of your max HP. Whoever killed the unit gets them 20% of their max HP. You also get a crit bonus, like crit damage bonus, equal to 1% of Minato's speed. Which his speed's very high. So, very busted, 10 out of 10 unit. Next unit, you know, not as busted, but still has very, very good use. What is that unit? Well, 2 units, because very hard to decide, because the Sage category is just overall terrible. I'm just going to be honest. The Sage category is overall terrible. So, 2 units that I chose are both attackers. It's going to be the Gate of Wonder Might Guy, as well as Sagebo Jiraiya. Those are the 2 that I chose, just because they have the most, you know, versatility in a very underpowered thing. So, let's get into their kits. Now, that being said, I'm not saying they're bad units. I'm just saying I don't think they're like the best things ever in comparison to these other units. So, his first skill deals 350% physical damage to all enemies, up to 200% damage to a single unit. Inflicts 10% increased damage taken via the lava armor. And there's a 50% chance to inflict someone with Mystic Fire, which basically is burn, but instead of 15% damage, like 15% of his attack, it's 100% of his attack. So kind of busted if you do land that Mystic Fire, but it is a 50-50, so I wouldn't count on that. His second thing is 450% magic damage. So our first magic damage, I don't think it changes like what attack he uses. I think it changes what defense is being used. But 350% magic damage to all enemies, up to 350% to a single unit. 20% chance to inflict chaos. What chaos does is it makes him not attack you specifically. It can attack you or his allies, and does that for 2 rounds. So just makes him go mentally insane. And he could literally just nuke his own team into oblivion. It's so good if it works. If you land that 20% chance and he actually attacks the other team, I mean, you've basically won. But once again, very low chance. Plus 40% attack, 20% HP, 15% crit, basic attacker thing. Now this is very interesting. Whenever Jiraiya is killed, whoever kills him instantly gets hit with chaos. They're guaranteed to hit chaos, but also 20% less chance of getting controlled. If you don't want to get controlled, it's basically getting inflicted with chaos, and this is one of the main controllers, Kurenai Sensei. She will control you with her second skill, so less chance of getting controlled. We like that. We don't want the chaos, so less chance of you getting chaos inflicted on you. Second guy up on the list, we have got Gate of Wonder Might Guy. So I know I said they weren't all that good, but this guy, you know, he's pretty good. At least on paper it is. 260% physical damage to a single enemy, ignoring 30% of their defense, and increases damage received by the enemy by 10% up to 100% by stacking 10 times. Every time you use this skill, that's called Gate of Wonder Crack. And this does the same thing with Gate of Wonder Armor Break, but instead of increasing damage by 10%, it lowers your defense by 10%. So yeah, you're just buffing your damage. Oh, and that thing also can't be affected by chaos. You know, chaos we're talking about? Yeah, it's not affected by that. It always is going to attack who you want it to. This skill, 375% physical damage to a single unit, ignoring 30% of their defense, and if their HP is above 50%, reduce the healing they receive by 50%, because of heavy damage. So, less healing, they're going to stay at lower HP. You know, pretty easy to keep their HP down, especially with the amount of defense reduction and damage increase you're doing to them. Basic, again, attacker. So he gains an attack boost equal to 5% of his max HP when he enters battle. At least I'm pretty sure that's what that means. These are very weird to read. Increases his crit rate by 15% and increases his damage read by 3% every round. It can stack up to 5 times to 15%, and if a target that he's attacking, his HP is more than 50%, increases the damage he does by 30%. All damage, he's a pure damage dealer. There's really nothing more to say about him. He just does damage. That's what he does, and he does it really well. I would say he's better than Jiraiya, but if Kurenai ever gets like in the meta, I would say Jiraiya is better because it reduces your chance of being controlled. So between the two, which one should you use? For right now, Kurenai isn't really in the meta, and Chaos isn't meta either. So, I would say Gate of Wonder by Guy. That's what I would use. But on to the next one, our final one, Madara. Alright, welcome to the longest thing ever. Now, this character also isn't owned by anyone, so another one of those rare ones. But this character's skills are so long. I mean, just long. So let's get straight into it. Attacks 5 random enemies, dealing 80% magic damage, dealing a bonus 2% damage of the person who's getting attacked HP, so their HP gives 2% of that as bonus damage. People who are hit, so those 5 random people, those people gain the Soul Eater effect, making it whenever whoever attacks them, however much damage they did, they get 10% of that as lifesteal. Reduces their tenacity by 15%, the healing they receive by 40%, and for the enemy with the least that's for the enemy with the least HP. Does that for 2 rounds. It can't be dispelled. Also, Madara gains an attack bonus equal to 5% of his max health, called Yang Release. A lot for a skill 1. Very convoluted. Reading these sometimes are like code, especially his ultimate. His ultimate covers the entire phone screen. It's too long, and there's things in there they just didn't put in. Like, there's an effect called Impasse, and it's just not listed anywhere. But anyway, skill 2 does 600 magic damage to all enemies not exceeding 350% on like a single target. Gains an attack bonus equal to 5% of his max health, which is that Yang Release again. Ignores 30% of all the enemy's defense, and also procs the Black Flame to happen. And what Black Flame is you'll see in his ultimate, but it's like in a more advanced version of Burn, but it only does 30% of the damage it originally would have done, which is still broken because Black Flame is broken. I'll explain what Black Flame is when we get to his ultimate, which is the next thing. And it's so long. I know I've emphasized that a lot, but I've probably spent 20 minutes or 30 minutes just reading all of his skills and like making a script that's actually readable. Also, apparently Madara likes Tsunade. You'll see what I mean by that in his ult, but yeah. So if you didn't notice, with him and Minato, there's something special about them. They offer a thing called Demon Domain for him, and for Minato it's Wind Domain, and that's where they get these extra bonuses from. So that's pretty cool. So he's going to offer plus 15% damage on his, just for his passive. And if you look, you see those like 3 tags at the top. For some reason, Swimsuit Tsunade is mentioned. That's what I was talking about. I have no idea why. But hey, the guaranteed developers don't know either. Either way, absorbs 20% of the attack, lasting 1 round for the 2 highest attackers. So you take the enemy team, their 2 highest damage dealers, 2 highest attack ratings, 20% of those 2 combined is going to go to Madara, which is broken. When an ally moves, randomly places why did I say it like that? When an ally moves, randomly places black flames on an enemy, and that cannot be dispelled. So black flames, once it's on someone, it never goes away. It lasts until the end of the round. It's Atamarasu. I'm struggling today. It's 1 a.m. I've been recording a long time. It's Atamarasu, and what that does is it does 25% of the attacker's power stackable 10 times. Not 25% of his damage, 25% of his power, which, like, bottom of the line Shinobi have 300,000 power. So 25% of 300,000 is like 75,000. So you're doing 75,000 damage. You stack that up 10 times. You also can proc it off with a skill too. You're one-shotting these people. I mean, it's busted. He also gets damage reduction by 50%, and all allies get 50% increased health because of his Guardian Heart ability. And Madara also gets this thing called Phantom Counter, which it doesn't list what Phantom Counter does, but I'm assuming it's a counter attack, which is broken. I'm sorry, I saw something in my window. Which is broken beyond everything you could ever believe it's broken. And also gets something called Impasse, which reduces the healing they receive. And it's listed down there, but, you know, it's not actually, like, it doesn't say where it's applied. So yeah, those are the best teams, or not best teams, best characters for the team in the game. Alright, so you've made it to the end of the video. I do appreciate you sticking around to the end. It means a lot. It helps me out, helps the channel out. If you do want to subscribe, that would be great, because I'll be just playing this game. I just play random games I think that are cool. And I think I am actually the first video on YouTube about this game, because it just came out. I am the first video ever on YouTube about this game. So that's pretty cool. So I hope y'all have an amazing day, and I hope y'all play this game. This game's pretty fun. And, you know, if you do play this game, go ahead and friend me, because I need all the friends I can get, you know. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.